Good morning, Panther fans. So I got the call last night. Unfortunately, I don't live close enough to Montreal, and my passport's not active. They needed me on the ice last night. Couldn't make it happen. So stay tuned because you can. One thing is certain with this team: as soon as we get a full roster, somebody's going down. It just It has just been. I never seen anything like it. Stu, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. Very pleased with the boys last night. And it's funny because when we were talking to Billy about the goaltending situation, and he was like, yeah, we go with Bob. And this is something I said a couple of videos ago. You ride Bob until
Yeah, until
because
well,
we have a no-name goalie. I
right.
never heard of this Alex Lyon, but you know what? I know who he is now.
We know who he is now.
That was incredible. That game was all Alex Lyon
Yeah,
because
and
Bob goes down, and I looking at the replay again, and because I thought immediately pulled groin. God forbid it's that.
right.
Then I saw him jam. I watched your recap, of course, and
Yeah.
I looked, and the skate did jam against the post.
Yeah.
I don't, you know more about, physical stuff than I do, and
Yeah, that's
I don't know how long it takes to recover if it is a knee jam, but irregardless of that, this kid comes in on a power play.
Yep.
And makes, like, on the first shot, makes a dominant classic save.
Right.
And I'm like, holy shit.
I know.
Because I really expected Montreal to score.
Oh, of course. I mean, that's the Panther way, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then he made another one.
Yeah.
And then he made another one.
Another one. I know.
And I think the boys just got so juiced up. We got out of the first period. And then Montreal blew themselves up with penalties.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the stall hit happened before all the power play goals. So let's just say it did. Matheson, 5-minute major,
Right.
hit to the head, intentional, whatever.
Right.
What about interference?
Right. He can get nothing.
He wasn't going for the puck.
No.
And he puts a guy out who's probably going to be out for a while because of a fucking concussion.
Right.
So I hope the league takes a look at that hit and gives Matheson. I mean, didn't we get somebody that was suspended for a couple of games for a hit?
Yeah, Kachuk was suspended for a couple of games.
Okay. All right. So let's get that out of the way. It sucks. Yeah. Stahl was playing good.
Right.
So
So Alex Lyon, I looked at this in the stream last night because we were all kind of like, who, what? So he's at 30 years old. He's got the right number to be a goalie, number 34. He's 6'1", 201. His career stats in 2017, he played 11 games in Philadelphia. In 2019, he played 2. Or 2018, he played 2. In 19, he played 3. In 20, he played 6. In 21, he played 2 games for Carolina. And now he's played a game for us. So I don't even know, that's 17, 20, not even at 25 total games. His overall numbers, 896 save percentage, okay, a 3.12 goals against. So his numbers are meh, right? But okay, so somehow, certainly Zito did a better job of getting us a number 3. It's funny. Last night on the stream, after the first save, somebody said he's already better than Jonas Johansson. I think it was Raven.
Exactly. Johansson, one of Zito's major stud moves.
Right.
But I started thinking about, because Brandon Montour has turned into, guys, Montour versus Weegar. who's the better defenseman?
Yeah, it's not a question.
When we got
Not my mind.
Montour and I watched, it's just like Forsling. When we got Montour and I watched him play, I'm like, wow, this kid's a keeper.
Right.
Montour, Mahura, Forsling.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then, Stahl and Gudis.
yeah, and Mark Stahl, I told you, Mark Stahl, after that first beginning couple of games or whatever, when I was like, he sucks, he's over.
Right.
He's, and I said before the season started, when we got him, if he can play like he did when he played with the Rangers, we got a solid defense.
Right.
So Billy's right. Our
Yeah.
defense.
No, the defense is fine.
solid.
Yeah.
So, but let's talk about that power play.
Oh,
Now, we scored 2 goals with less than 10 seconds left in the power play, which goes to show you that you got to just keep plugging away.
just keep shooting
on the power play.
Right.
They're moving it around quicker. And again, this is the Canadiens.
Right.
All right.
Right.
And then some crazy thing. I mean, they challenged that goal with Kachuk that was challenged.
Right. I know.
I think they the NHL. You were right. I thought that goal was going to be taken away.
Yeah. What I said on the stream was, if that was a goal against the Panthers, I want to know why that's not goalie interference. Now, they said on the stream it's because the goalie initiated the contact. Half of that's correct, but also Kachuk is just sitting right there in the crease, impeding his. You could see either way, and what it leads to is still nobody knows what goaltender interference is.
That's true, but here the boys, Goldie and Randy said it. That's what my thinking is. Montembeault wasn't going to get to that puck,
Right?
even if there's no Kachuk in there.
Right.
So you got the coach's challenge. We stick it to him again. Then, unbelievably, I don't think I've seen this in a really long time. Too many men on the ice.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah. And I was going to say,
Sorry.
And then another too many men on the ice while they're killing the penalty. So now we got a 2-man advantage. So, which, obviously we didn't score on that, but we scored another one. So 4-0, boom.
Right. Yeah.
Just like that. And then, Giovanni Smith pops one of those. I mean, did you see that kid, Selly?
You're right.
That's what it's all about. I mean, that's a 12-year-old scoring a goal in Bantam, Yep. I was really happy to see that kid score.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, 5-0, Montreal comes out in the third on fire.
Right.
That shot.
Oh, that first shot.
That first goal hit Gudis' stick. And
the first one or the one that went short side?
The one that was
because the first one was that short side goal, which was like it was this much net to shoot out, and he got it in.
No, that was the shot. I think it clipped Gudis' blade. Either Gudis or Ekblad, but I think it was Gudis. I see. And then they scored another one, and then we got the little fire blood.
Oh, wow.
Lundberg. I mean, anytime Lundberg gets a goal, makes me really happy. Fantastic pass for Verhaeghe. And
then we had
game over. We got the 2 points, which we should have had and did have and whatnot. And we go 5 out of 6 points, which is what you and I said we needed to do. We just flipped it around.
Right.
Remember we were saying, we beat Toronto and we get the point in Montreal.
Right.
So, just think about this. If the referees didn't fuck us over, we'd have 6 out of 6 points.
Yeah, we'd be on, I guess, 4-game winning streak, 5 maybe, 4, whatever it is, 4. And then of course we had all the fights, and I was happy to see we were all waiting for somebody to take care of Matheson, who I wasn't aware got traded. I must have been fishing the day he got traded during the offseason because I wasn't aware of it. And
just like I didn't know Jeff Petrie got traded.
Yeah, apparently they got traded for each other. So there you go, right?
Yeah.
But it was good to see. It was good to see Kachuk take care of business there
Well,
because
I was waiting. I was waiting for somebody
what the
to
hell
do
was
that.
Matheson doing? I mean, that's not his
That's
game, his
that's
style.
what's
What
real.
the
That's
hell?
what's really surprising.
Right.
He's not that type of player.
Yeah. And I mean, he consciously stopped and just hauled off on him.
How
And
did they not call that?
how do they not call that? And look, last night was not a night where we can really complain about the refs, but as a separate issue, as a we're trying to protect the players thing, how because they did come back like 30 seconds later and call some crap penalty
Yeah,
against
they called.
Montreal to even it out. They
That's
did. I
right.
want to be clear there. But I mean, the dude is falls down and you have to stop the play. How do you just not call? How do you not get together as a group and say, what did you see? What did you see? Okay, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is. I don't understand the process of how that. I mean, are you telling me nobody saw it? They had to be watching. I mean, it was two players going into the corner after the puck. There had to be eyes on them.
Well,
So
if NHL safety doesn't come back and give Matheson at least a couple of game suspension for a hit to the head,
right.
It's a joke.
And that's the kind of thing, and this is where I'm kind of going with this in another video, but that's the kind of thing where, you know, we can all talk about conspiracy and all the things we think that's going on behind the scenes, and we can't prove any of that. But those refs should be culpable and available for the damn media. We should be able to ask the questions of, hey, look, how do you miss that? How do you miss that? That needs to become part of the game. So that's all I'll say about that right now.
While you're on the subject, you made a comment in the recap about Maurice not getting his money's worth.
Yeah.
You're right.
Right?
I mean, they should have listened. The NHL should have just let that go.
Yep.
And been that's the end of it.
Right.
Okay, because what Maurice said, Maurice didn't say the refs sucked.
No.
They called that this was a totally biased officiating team, whatever. This referee, 7, penalties, two calls that shouldn't have been, calls against Toronto that weren't called.
Right. He said it wasn't Panther friendly. Are you kidding me?
25 grand.
Right. So yeah, those are the two specific things that need to change, but that's a subject for another video.
Anyway, you can see now this team is alive. And it's just incredible, Eric, because 2 weeks ago, the season was over.
I know.
You and I were like, it's done.
Yep.
Trade this guy, fire Maurice. I mean, it's incredible. Like a light switch went on.
Right.
And these guys now, I think they have the confidence that they're gonna do what they have to do to get in the playoffs. You can just see it. You can just see the energy is back. And a few weeks ago, we said there's no energy, there's no heart.
Right.
We said all that stuff.
Yep.
So I guess the team must have had a barbecue and turned on Flying Fluffy Hockey, the #1 Panther podcast in the world. Saw these two old men talking about how bad the team was, and said, "Look, man, these guys. I mean, they're right. We suck right now. We better get our act together because we don't want Stu and Eric.
You don't want those guys.
On us.
They won't shut up. Believe me.
All right.
I know.
So, listen, one of you Panther guys. I know you probably got some anonymous pseudonym handle.
Yeah.
Put something in the comments like, "Hey, we got the message."
Well, in speaking to that, I just looked at the score and it looks like Buffalo did beat the Islanders, but again, the worst possible result. 3 points get handed out, and that's that.
I watched it live on the NHL Network. Darlene does an alley-oop pass that Dylan Cousins takes. The puck bounces, He gets it flat. I mean, this is all in fast motion.
Right.
And he pops it 5-hole. Sorokin was in net, who's
Yeah.
been like the hottest goalie. What a great overtime goal. So anyway, yeah, that sucks that the Islanders got a point. But hey,
but they had the lead in the game, so I
Yeah.
mean,
Listen.
we got 2, they got 1.
Again, it's going to come down to us doing our thing, and we can't worry about other teams if we take care of business and we just keep winning like we've been winning. What did he say? 6-2-1?
Yeah.
Or 5-2-1 in the 6-2-1 in the last 9 games.
Yeah.
So
right,
we got to win Saturday.
And
Minnesota's a great team.
Right.
But we're home. We're juiced up after that roadie. And then the real work starts.
Right.
Because, again, the Rangers at the Garden, they've had our number the last, couple of games. And, it's in my mind vividly how we had a nice lead against the Rangers the last time, and we blew it.
Yeah.
They came back and tied us, and then they won the game. And then Pittsburgh. But Billy's right. Some of these teams, they're not playing so good. Pittsburgh was on a tear, and then they, just like Jersey was on a tear. Maybe that's why. Maybe we don't want to have a 7-8 game winning streak because,
it's not.
Inevitably, it turns the other way.
It's when you have it.
So
it's when you have it, because that means that's when you're playing your best. You know what I mean?
We killed 5 penalties last night.
Yeah. So the other thing about Saturday is if Bob's not in, do you want? For me, I said it last night. If Bob can't go, I put Lyon out there to start and Spencer to back him up, only because you've already had Lyon in the game.
Yep.
And Spencer's track record, first game back from, I don't know what you do now. If Bob's hurt, we don't have the luxury of sending Knight down to the AHL for a warm-up game. So that you can't do it, right? You got to have somebody there backing up Lyon. So hopefully, I mean, they said last night Bob was questionable to return. Maybe by now we'll know something, or we'll know something today.
I want to know what's up with Knight.
Well, somebody said on the stream that somebody said on the stream, and I think it was George or one of the guys that asked Spencer the other day how he's doing, and he said fine. So I don't know. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if they didn't want to activate him until they were ready to play him. I don't know if they were getting ready to send him down for a game. I don't know what's going on there either. And they never even told us what the injury was. I mean, I never even heard whether it was upper or lower.
The last thing I remember is he was sick.
Right. And then so
maybe he got hurt in practice. All I know is this kid deserves another game.
Right.
I mean, he earned his money last night. And it's nice to see a 30-year-old kid that's been bouncing around the league.
Yeah.
Put in a situation like that.
Right.
You got to be freaking, the nerves just have to be like, I can't imagine. And then he makes that first save, and it was just.
It was really.
And I think. I know 3 for sure, but I'll say 4 amazing saves.
Yeah.
And there were 3 in that first period that kept us in the game. And I really think that spurred the boys on to say, look, this guy is saving our ass. We got to get some goals. But, man, it reminded me of last year when we turned it on.
Yeah.
I mean, those 4 goals happened pretty quickly.
Yep.
I mean, 2 of them were like 65 seconds or something like that.
Yeah. And then the other thing is, if Stahl's out for any length of time, which, if it was a concussion, you're looking at least a week.
When he got hit, he tried to get up.
Right. And
then he fell back down. I'm like, fuck.
Right.
He's got a concussion. It's just got all the telltale signs.
Right. To me, the move there, if I'm in charge of things, which some days I wonder if I am. You'd put for those of you who are only listening, that was a big smile I said after that. That was sarcasm. I would put Tierney next to Luosterainen and move Cousins to 4C. Rather than inserting Colin White, I'd rather put Tierney on right next to Luosterainen where Cousins is now, and move Cousins to 4C, and then just carry on from there, because I think in that position, Cousins is going to be a better player than White, and I think on the wing I'd rather have Tierney than White, because I think he's shown a little bit more speed. His game might match with Luosterainen a little bit better. But that's two of our supposed fourth line players concussions: Hornquist and now Stahl. So, we're still okay. I think I don't. I mean, there will be some drop off, but Cousins is a gamer. I think he can elevate his game for a period of time. And then Duke is probably a couple weeks away. So
along the lines of the Duclair coming back things, you and I, for some unknown reason, we were talking about, and I know you said about putting, Kiersted's the player, about putting him back down.
Yeah, somebody's got to go back down.
You and I forgot about Cousins and White. I was texting with Billy yesterday, and Billy said that he thinks that if, in that scenario, White's going to be put on waivers.
Well, yeah, but the thing is that if you put White on waivers
and nobody takes
them, then you got to put him in the minors, and I don't know if we get enough salary cap relief putting him in the minors. Not sure, because there's some funky equation there where if you release a guy, who's at full salary, and then he goes back down to the minors, I'm not 100% sure what the formula is there, how much cap relief we need, and how much we would get. So, and it'll only be temporary anyway, in the sense that if we do make the playoffs, we can call up who we want, right? Because there's no cap. So, well, there is, but it's a little bit different. But anyway, yeah, that's been the thing we've had to do all year. And what's interesting is it's kind of, I don't want to say it's worked in our favor, but if Hornquist doesn't get that concussion, we don't find this kid Giovanni Smith, because that was the answer there, right? So don't completely discount that possibility. If Stahl's got a really bad one and it looks like he's going to be out, a month, 6 weeks, do not discount Zito going out there and poking the bushes and see what he can find, which that's really when he's at his best.
Yeah, well, that would be great if he trades. And again,
there's no way he's going to trade.
I'm not a big fan of Cousins. I'm sorry. I think he and White have both been busts. I said it at the time they were signed.
But let's look at the expectations. Cousins is expected to be a fourth line grinder type of guy. Colin White was first round pick. You know what I mean? Is expected to make some difference on the wing. I think in terms of expectations, Cousins hasn't been great, but he's not somebody that's going to hurt you or anything like that. With our salary cap position, Zito didn't have any money to go shopping with. You know what I mean?
I think this goal by Smith is going to spur him on.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Jovo was talking about it on the post game, how you got Lundberg and Smith scoring.
Right.
And how he said the players on the bench get really juiced up when the grinders, as we call fourth liners,
right,
score.
Right.
He also said that, or maybe I don't know who it was that said, it was Maurice, maybe? Yeah, it was Maurice said that when Lyon made that first save, the whole bench went nuts.
Yeah.
So this video, like we can't be remiss in not talking about. Could you just look up and see if Chucky had an assist last night in addition to the 2 goals?
I can't imagine he didn't.
I mean, game after game after game, and then then he takes down Matheson.
Right.
I thought Gudis was going to be the guy, but
let's see.
I love that kid, man.
He had just the 2 goals, no
Okay,
assists.
that's what I thought.
Yeah,
Just 2 goals.
just the 2 goals, and he almost got the hat trick on that behind the back. He almost got it.
Man.
Right, he's gonna get one of those, man.
That would have been like number 1 star of the NHL Network, number 1 star with that move. But
and the other thing I want to, before I forget, especially now with Stahl out, and we're talking about Hornqvist being out and now Stahl being out, and why we signed guys like Cousins and White. Denisenko needs to stay up because he might not be scoring, but he's gonna get his goals. But the work that he is doing of just irritating the F.
Totally agree.
He's got to stay, man.
Totally agree. The only thing I'd like to see him do is shoot more because he just seems to be getting rid of the puck.
Right, and that'll come with confidence. He'll get one in, and then
once he hasn't. He's still looking for his first NHL goal.
Right.
It'd be nice. Now, here's what I'm hoping for Saturday night. I want Mark Stahl to score badly.
Yeah.
Because you watch the bench, you watch the team's reaction. It's like when Gudis scored,
right.
When those guys are not supposed to score.
Right.
So I want Mark Stahl to score a goal. I don't know how many games it's been since he's scored a goal.
He should score just for his beard alone. I mean, it's like a lumberjack out there, man.
I'm really pleased in the turnaround. I was so down on him at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And he just turned it around. Listen, our defense.
No, defense is solid.
Our defense is better than it was.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And, it just like, again, I said it many videos again, ago. Mahura got traded. Uyghur got traded for Mahura, even though Mahura was a waiver pick. They Uyghur went out. Mahura came in, and Mahura is solid.
Right.
Game in, game out, solid. Right. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes.
Oh, and you sent me a tweet last night before the game. Speaking of that trade, where was that? Because I only got a chance to look at it right before. This is a Flames fan.
Oh yeah.
And this was in response. I guess they lost to the Avalanche 4-1. And a Flames fan on Twitter says, seriously need to put Huberdeau on waivers and cross your fingers someone is dumb enough to pick him up. He literally makes them a worse team. He'd be overpaid at $1.5 million, never mind $10.5 million. Oh, man. And then, of course, people are coming in and laughing. Now, I love Huberdeau. Don't get me wrong. But putting together his career and putting last year in a box, because let's face it, last year he was out of his mind, played way better than any other year, and putting his year together so far, I have to come to the conclusion, and he's not the first athlete to do so this isn't really ripping him, but that dude was playing out of his mind last year for the contract.
Absolutely.
And he got the contract.
Absolutely.
And because if you look at the rest of his career, what Calgary Flame fans are complaining about, that's the other years of Huberdeau, which last year, and look, I don't even blame him, really. I mean, it's a smart play, right? Okay. And I'm not saying he really held anything back the other years, but maybe he did. There was a lot of coasting. The other years. So
listen, the bottom line with Huberdeau, he disappeared in the playoffs. Not just last year, the year before. They weren't getting rid of Barkov.
Right.
That's why Huberdeau's gone.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And as far as Uyghur goes, Uyghur's good for his Weather Channel, assessments.
Yeah, I wonder if he's still doing that. I wonder if it's friggin' cold, and that's
I mean,
all. No, look, the names on the back of the
Uyghur is overrated, and there's no way he's worth $7 million. If Uyghur's worth $7 million, Forsling's worth $9 million.
Yeah.
Got news for you. Zito's number one priority is locking Forsling up.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Yeah. No, he's got to get
the
paid.
best. Did you see that one? That one play, but looked like it was going to be a breakaway, and
yeah.
And Forsling just,
he was a 2-on-1.
Swatted at the play, caught up, and he's a fast freaking skater. Oh,
yep.
Can't forget about the pass to Bennett on the power play that Bennett tipped in.
Yeah.
I mean, that's freaking hockey IQ, man.
Yep.
It's
Perfect.
Insane.
Perfect.
So anyway, I mean that's pretty much it, man.
Yep, that's it. It
was a great win.
Yep.
Really bummed out that Bob got hurt. Hopefully it's not too
hopefully
bad.
It's okay. Hopefully
really bummed about Stahl because that was totally unnecessary.
Right.
Anytime any player gets a concussion, I mean, I can't begin to tell you how many times I'm watching the NHL Network and I see hits like that, and especially with the no call, but you see a guy that's playing good, and now he's going to be out for 3-4 weeks, maybe more, because he's got a fucking concussion.
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen. And also, hopefully, before we go, we're in the last couple of weeks. You can head over to manscaped.com, who's the sponsor for all of this lovely content. Use code FlyingFluffy. You get 20% off. You get free shipping, and you get some great products. Now, you guys know I've been showing you the lawnmower. I've been showing you the weed whacker. Okay. What I haven't shown off too much is the travel case. And I believe this is not part of the shtick. This is not part of the shtick that they have us give. And this may seem like a minor thing, but it might be a bit of the point I'm trying to make is I believe the bag is dust resistant because I left it in a spot for 2 weeks where it's pretty dusty and the desk gets dusty and everything like that. And there's no dust on the bag. And us guys, we know, we don't use these very often. We don't use the travel cases very often. And there's nothing worse than knowing you've got that travel case in the back of the closet and you go to get it and it's all covered in dust, man. You got to sit there and you're patting it, and there's dust all over the place. I left the sucker in a dusty spot for 2 weeks. There's no dust on it. I don't know what else to say, man. You know what I mean?
I used the weed whacker last night. You don't think about nose hairs and shit, but it worked really good.
Yeah, and it's the thing I like about the weed whackers is just so quiet compared to the other ones. Like I said, I've got vertigo and I get tinnitus and I get migraines and all of that. And I've had the weed whackers is just this little device here, and it's so quiet. But the biggest thing is that there's hardly any vibration at all. So if you have any kind of issues with sticking things in your ears, especially where it might cause you a headache or whatnot, I have a Braun one of these, and it's big, it's bulky, and you kind of feel like you're shoving a hammer in your ear because that's how much it vibrates. Head over to manscaped.com. Code is FlyingFluffy. You get 20% off. You get free shipping. You support the channel. That code is good till February 5th. So for you ladies that are watching for our good looks and our slick moves, it's just enough perfect timing to buy your significant other something for Valentine's Day there. Turn that around. I know he's coming with something, right? I know he's not going to get you the lawnmower. That's not how this works. You get him the lawnmower, and then he's got reading material, because if you get him the complete box, you get him a complete package. They send you reading material so that he won't be on his phone doing something nefarious when he's in the bathroom for a while. So he'll have something to take care of him, to babysit him. So All right.
I want to just thank all you guys for the comments on the Billy video. Like I said, it's a privilege that we get Billy and Randy on our podcast.
Yep.
And they had a lot of good, what's the word?
Insight.
There you go.
Yeah.
But I want to call out somebody.
Oh boy.
John Hopkins. I don't know if you were being sarcastic.
What was that?
Satirical. Why the fuck am I a punk? All right, yeah, I'm an old man, and I'm calling you out, man. Why am I a punk? All right.
Now, maybe he was responding to something you said in another.
I don't know, but
maybe he's confused and he thinks I'm Stu. I don't know.
Well,
but I don't know what you said.
I'd like you to elaborate on that. Now, if you were joking around, okay, I could take a good ribbon, but and then he went like this. So,
right.
Anyway, other than that, guys.
Yeah, I was
We're going to continue to bring really good content. We got Randy coming up soon. We're just trying to work out a schedule. For him to come on. And listen, Flying Fluffy Hockey, the #1 podcast in the world. I know you changed it to Flying Fluffy Sports. It's Flying Fluffy Hockey. So there's no other Panther fan podcast that can bring on these two guys that are just icons.
Yep.
In Panthers. So anyway,
and
Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota. Yeah. Now that game is tomorrow. Now
gotta stop the krill, man.
Real quick. There's 2 playoff games and a hockey game in the middle. So tomorrow will be a triple header live stream, just like last week, where we start off with the football game. The hockey game comes in, and then there's football.
I don't know how you do it.
It's that. And then Sunday, there's 2 more football games. So that's a doubleheader. And then Monday, the Panthers play. So that's another stream. Tuesday, the Panthers play. That's another stream. And then Wednesday, I will sleep, hopefully this time, and get some rest. Because otherwise, I'm not myself when I don't get my rest.
Listen, if we can keep this thing going into the All-Star break.
Right. No, we have to. There's no room for.
And of course, we get some puck luck, and some of these teams, that were chasing the Islanders, Pittsburgh, whoever, Capitals,
right?
That teams beat them.
Right. Yep. All right, guys. We appreciate all the support. We'll see you again real soon.